The latest Fallout 76 update finally lets players become ghouls for the first time in Fallout history. But that's not the only game-changing addition. Bethesda also introduced Onslaught, a new mechanic that completely flips the combat meta on its head. And today, of course, we're diving into probably the most broken combination that you could run with right now. So, real quick, before we get into the actual combination, I just want to talk about what the new Onslaught system is. But Onslaught is a newly added mechanic that they added to Fallout 76 with the most recent Ghoul update. Basically, it's just small damage stacks that you get from hitting enemies. You could get these stacks to appear by either using certain perk cards or by having a weapon with the Furious legendary effect. It's super simple. Either select one of these perk cards and you'll now have additional damage and reload speed per stack on Onslaught, or use a Furious weapon and get additional damage that way. I'll have a video going over the whole mechanic soon. I'm currently working on the gameplay, but certain weapons are now stupidly overpowered in 76 because of this. And the combo that we're going to talk about today has to do with one of these weapons, and it's the extremely underutilized Gamma Gun. Now, all you need to achieve this stupidly broken combination is to, one, be a ghoul, and you want to have all of the glowing buff perk cards you can get. Now, specifically, you're going to want to have the one in the luck section, where if your glow meter is full, you could do 50% extra damage, or extra crit damage. That's just 50% extra crit damage is crazy in itself, and you're going to be using crits a lot with this weapon. You don't have to, but again, if it's just 50% extra damage, even if you're not a VATS build, it's still worth it. So secondly, you're going to want to get a Gamma Gun. Now, if you can get a Gamma Gun with the Furious legendary effect, congratulations, you basically have the best gun in the entire game as of right now because of the new meta. Or you're going to want to get a quad legendary effect one. Still, it's amazing just because the mag count is so low with the normal ones. It's only 8, so if you have a quad, brings it up to the 30s for you. There you go. You get 32 bullets. You're ready to rock and roll. You'll want to grab most of the Onslaught perk cards you possibly can in the agility section. If you don't know, they like I said earlier, I'll have a new video out on the Onslaught mechanic system, but they changed all of the gunslinger perks in the agility section of the perks and everything like that. So now you can get Onslaught from dealing damage to enemies, and it's in the agility section. So now, once you have a Gamma Gun, you're a ghoul, you have all of the ghoul glowing perks that you possibly can get, and you have all of the Onslaught perks, or at least just some of the Onslaught perks. You don't need them all. You basically only need 2 to get some nice stacks and some extra reload speed and some extra stacks. Simply just VATS onto an enemy, or don't, and you'll blow them into irradiated dust in 2 shots, as you could see from the gameplay footage that's been going on. Now, if you can't get a Furious Gamma Gun, no problem. This will still work with just the Onslaught perk cards. Some of the video, I'm using the Furious one, as you could see, and that gives me an extra 25% damage. And then sometimes I'm just using the quad, and it's still ripping through enemies no matter what. So the Furious is just if you really want to be a little overkill. But let's get into why this is so specifically good for ghouls, because obviously most players can just throw this build together, minus the ghoul perks. Anyone could get a Gamma Gun with the Furious effect, or anyone could get a Gamma Gun and use the Onslaught perks. The Onslaught's perk cards are basically what makes this thing insane. However, this does come with a little extra bonus if you are a ghoul that I will talk about right now. So, like I said, I want to talk about why this combination is so good, but first I want to mention on why it's specifically so good for ghouls. Firstly, if you are a ghoul, you could heal from the radiation, and you guessed it, the Gamma Gun shoots a pretty large radiation AoE attack, and not only will it shred through enemies, but you could also heal off of this weapon without it being a vampire's. You don't have to sacrifice any damage for survivability. Now, if you're running a ghoul melee build and you don't have a glowing effect or anything like that, you're going to be taking a little bit more damage than you would like. So you're going to have kind of like a vampire's chainsaw on the backup or something like that just to regen health. This build, though, you really don't need to, and because the Onslaught now gives you more damage if you're closer to an enemy, you're going to want to just run up to an enemy, shoot them, you'll get 10% extra damage, you'll get all of the extra damage from the Onslaught perk cards, and you will constantly heal yourself. Now, on top of being a non-stop high damage Moxie weapon from Borderlands 2, this gun has crazy synchrony with the Ghoul perk cards, like I mentioned earlier. Specifically, there's a perk in Luck where it allows you to do 50% more VATS critical damage if you're glowing, which you always will be glowing because you're shooting a bolt of radiation that explodes a few inches from yourself. So you're just going to want, like I said, run up to an enemy with the gamma gun out, shoot him a couple of times, your onslaught will fill up, you'll be doing 25% extra damage from that, and then you also will be doing 50% more VATS critical damage because you will constantly be glowing. Even without that perk card, it is still crazy. You don't really need it, it just makes it a hell of a lot easier, and it's easier to take out those heavier bosses. You're not really going to need to hit a super mutant with a crit or anything like that to be able to kill him. Finally, I just wanted to mention again that all players can do this. The damage on a Gamma Gun plus the Onslaught perk cards is enough to basically kill everything. The perk cards are the one that really does anything. You're just going to want to get the Onslaught perk cards that boost damage straight up with the stacks, the one that does more damage in close quarters, and then obviously you're going to want to grab the one that makes you reload faster and gives you more stacks. Now, if you just have those and the Gamma Gun, you will still melt almost every single enemy in the game, especially if you have the Furious effect. But I will say the specific combination is a heavy part of the Ghoul Gunslinger meta, as you could see by the footage of me just destroying everything. You go against any enemy in the game, you're fine. Go up against humans, it's a joke. Go up against Scorch Beasts, it's a joke. It is completely the meta for Ghouls right now. It's so good that unfortunately I'm afraid that Bethesda will make a change to how much damage you're able to do with this thing, because it just absolutely shreds through everything in the game currently, including raid bosses, nuke bosses, literally everything. I do have to say, though, there are two small cons with this combo. First off, and I do just want to mention them real quick because not everything in life is perfect, unfortunately. The first thing that I wanted to talk off is the ammo economy for this thing. Since you'll want to use an auto gamma gun for extra DPS, this thing shreds through ammo, so good luck if you're a low level. Also, like I said, the magazine for this is only 8 shots. So if you do have an auto one, you're going to be reloading a lot. Hence why, if you're a ghoul, you could grab that reload 36% or instant reload 36% of the time, and that could save you some time here and there. If you have a quad one, though, good luck. You will be running through ammo like it's nothing. Now, secondly, just like the Resolve Breaker, this thing is a mini flashbang in your hand. You can't see crap when you're using this thing in close quarters. Both of these stupidly small issues that don't really have an effect on how well this actual weapon is in the wasteland, or this combination is. So go ahead, still use it. Just keep that in mind. You'll be blinding yourself from time to time, which is completely fine because you won't die because you'll be healing yourself with radiation, and also you'll be going through ammo like it's nothing. So again, if you are a low level, I suggest you run through a few daily ops with this thing just to grab as much ammo as you possibly can. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents of the wasteland. We've made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. If you aren't having fun as a ghoul, or you're not impressed with the damage and the playability of them with Bethesda's unfortunate letdown, go ahead and try this build or combination out. It will seriously change your opinion on the ghouls. If you're not a ghoul, go ahead and still use it. It's still amazing. Just be careful. You will be dealing some damage to yourself with the radiation. Obviously, a bloodied build could probably outperform, a bloodied onslaught build could probably outperform damage than this thing. However, you can't be blooded if you're a ghoul, so this is basically the only way to do damage as a ghoul if you're not playing a melee build, so this is 100% the way to go. This build can also be used, again, the onslaught perks, you could also just use them with any pistol in the game. That's an auto pistol, so, good luck with that. But the gamma gun, again, you just shoot it at the ground of an enemy or shoot it at an enemy, you'll heal yourself and you'll blow them up almost instantly. And I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know what you think about the whole entire new ghoul mechanic. Are you using a gunslinger? Do you want to try this thing out? Go ahead and get a gamma gun. Let me know in the comments. And as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video. I will see you in the wasteland, hopefully with your new shiny gamma gun.